Hey guys, Foxdrop here with a video on 5 champions that are good to be one-tricking for the jungle in solo queue. If you don't know what one-tricking is, it's where you take one champion and you just play that champion over and over and over and use it to give yourself elo. The reason why one-tricking is so effective in solo queue is because the more you can specialize on certain things, which is why it's also good to be specializing in a certain role, the better you become at that one specific thing, and that's great in an environment like solo queue because you can just spam these champions, spam these roles, and you don't have to worry about learning every single aspect of the game. Just a quick shout out as well before we get into the grittiness of the video. Foxdrop shirts are still on sale, boys and girls. They're limited edition. If you like what you see on screen now, I'll put a link to it down below in the description. Shout outs to Hookie and Who's. They've already bought their shirts. Thanks for that, boys. And for this video, I'm going to try and do a bit of a mini guide for all of the champions. Obviously, I won't be able to go into too much detail. You know, I don't have like 10 years to make this video. But hopefully, by watching this video, you'll be able to jump into game with any of the champions that I mentioned and still not be completely screwed, and you should be okay. But anyway, going on to our first champion for this one-trick pony list, it is going to be Fiddlesticks. Fiddle's a champion who's very unique in his playstyle, and that does take a bit of getting used to, which is a bit of a downside. But having said that, if you play him enough, obviously you will get used to it. And on the plus side, enemy players probably won't be used to playing against you, so you can just roll over them without them really knowing what's going on. The great thing about Fiddlesticks, and this is obviously the strongest thing about him, is the way his ultimate works. A good Fiddlesticks ulti will completely win you a team fight by itself, and if you get enough of them, usually only 2 or 3 in a single game, you can pretty much just solo carry the late game. His early isn't anything too special, but he still clears fairly well because he doesn't have any sustain issues thanks to his drain. But of course, like, his ganks aren't really anything special, and if he actually does go toe to toe with an enemy jungler, unless he can just stand still and drain that jungler endlessly, he's probably not going to win that 1v1. For your runes, just go Magic Pen Reds, Armor Yellows, AP Blues, AP Quints, go 12, 0, 18 with Strength of the Ages. And for your item build, you want to go for the Runic Echoes with Blue Smite into the Zhonya's, and anything outside of that, as long as it gives you some magic oomph, then you can buy it. The second champion on this list is going to be Rumble, another one similar to Fiddle in that he's more of a caster than a physical bruiser. But Rumble is someone who doesn't get picked, he doesn't get banned very frequently, and he is so underrated as a jungler. He clears ridiculously fast, and his duels are actually not that bad. He's a bit squishy, but he puts out surprising amounts of damage. He's also someone who has fairly good ganks even before level 6, because his harpoon that he shoots out gives you 2 chances to tag and slow the enemy. Outside of that, he's another person a bit like Fiddle who has a bit of a game-changing ultimate, so you can really contest objectives, because if the enemy team is sitting around Dragon or Baron and you walk up to them and put down that red carpet, chances are, unless you're really far behind, just that Rumble by itself will win you the fight. I think there's only been 3 times in my memory where I have just been really far behind the enemy jungler, and twice of those games were when I was against a Rumble, because he snowballs really hard because his clear speeds just go through the roof as soon as he buys Runic Echoes. So for your runes, items, and masteries, you'll want to go for your Magic Pen Reds again, Armor Yellows, AP Blues, AP Quints, same as Fiddlesticks. And for masteries, 12, 0, 18 with Strength of the Ages, same as Fiddlesticks. And for your item build, Runic Echoes with Blue Smite is pretty core on him, and then outside of that, I would say like anything that gives you AP plus a little bit of tanky stats on the side as well, they're really good options. Like Proto Belt is kind of semi-core on him, most people get it, but I don't think you need to get it. But outside of that, you know, Riley's, Leandry's, Abyssals, Zhonya's, those are all really good items on him. For our third champion on this list, it's going to be Kazakhs. Arguably one of the better assassin junglers around right now, Kha'zix is someone who doesn't get picked or banned too frequently, although it does kind of depend on how strong he is in the current patch. But even right now, he's a really solid jungler, and I still rarely see Kazakhs. The great thing about Kazakhs is how strong he is in those 1v1s, which allows him to really dictate the way the game goes, especially in the early game. Like, the thing is, you can just bully the enemy jungler really easily, and as long as they're isolated, you can fight them and you can win that 1v1. He also snowballs quite hard too, because he just buys damage, and the more damage you have, the harder you snowball, because you just like 2-shot people. Like, genuinely, if you can camp out in a bush and get someone to face check you, you will kill them in probably 3 hits. He's the complete terror of squishies. If you just want to go around and just ruin an AD carry's day, pick Kha'Zix and get fed. outside of those PvP elements as well, he's really good at clearing the jungle, because all he does is bio damage, so he clears so fast. But anyway, what you want to do on Kha'zix, go for AD reds, AD quints, army yellows, and whatever blues you want to run. Go for 12, 18, 0 as your masteries. Thunderlords or Storm Raiders, it's kind of up to you, just depends whether you want the utility or the burst. And then for your item build, go for Blue Smite and Warrior, I think is pretty core on him. And then outside of that, it's kind of up to you. Pretty much anything that gives you damage is good on Kha'zix, you know, Hex Drinker, Hydra, Yumu's, those are all good choices. But then you can go for like hybrid items-ish, like Death's Dance, Black Cleaver, and then even outside of that, you can just go for like pure tank items, and as long as you're not building only tank, they still work on him. Things like Randuins or Banshees or Guardian Angel. Fourth champion on this list is going to be the first and actually the only tank I'll be mentioning today, Zack. Zack is someone who for solo queue is just, I don't know why he doesn't get picked more. He's so strong, and he's just incredibly effective at ganking. I did a video a little bit earlier talking about Zack. I did a full gameplay on him, and I called the video the Gank King, because that is exactly what Zack is. As soon as you get some points in your E, so as soon as you hit like level 7 or so, you can gank from so far away, and it's really hard for the enemy team to just stop you from ganking them. The only way Zack fails in his ganks is just if he doesn't have enough damage to really finish it off, or if he gets into kind of an unlucky counter gank. But even so, the amount of pressure that Zack applies, considering how tanky he is, which really heavily reduces the risks involved, he's so effective for solo queue. And then later the game goes on, you just initiate fights, you just get ridiculously tanky again, and you just bounce around in the middle of the enemy team, and no one can deal with you. So if your runes and masteries, go for attack speed reds. I know that sounds a bit weird, but it's mostly just to help you clear, and there's not really any other reds that are any good on Zack. And then either armor or health per level yellows. And then I like to go AP blues and AP quints, helps my clears a bit more, but you might want to get some magic resist or CDR if you want to in those blues instead. For your masteries, 12, 0, 18 with strength of the ages. And for your item build, it's a little bit up to you whether you want to go for blue or green smite and then into either runic echoes or Cinderhulk. Obviously runic echoes helps you clear faster, gives you more damage, but Cinderhulk makes you a lot tankier, and the later the game goes on, because you'll be buying a lot of health on Zack, that Cinderhulk gets even more valuable. But outside of that, if you've got an excuse to buy Spirit Visage, do it. It's really good on him, and anything that gives you health or anything that's a tank item, you can get that on Zack. And there are even some like hybrid AP health items that are okay on him, things like Leandry's and maybe O'Reilly's if you're really ballsy. But anyway, before we move on to the last champion for this list, I just want to thank you guys for watching so far. I do appreciate you guys checking the video out. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to me. You can give it a thumbs up as well if you are enjoying it. I really do appreciate you guys watching this video. Like, you guys enable me to do what I'm doing, and I'm just really grateful to that. I'm trying to put out more content recently as well. Like, I do daily videos now. I never used to do that, and I'm just really enjoying putting out more videos for you and just seeing you guys, you know, getting the feedback from you guys. When you guys tell me, you know, you watch my videos and you like it, or that you learn from me, or that, you know, you're in bronze and now you're in gold, whatever it is, every time I read these things, it warms my heart, like, legitimately. You guys might think that there's a huge disconnect between the audience and the video maker, and, you know, whereas that's somewhat true just because of the platform, you know, I still have that connection to you guys in the comments, and I still feel that, especially when I go to events. Like, I recently went to Insomnia and I can see you guys in person. It's just insanely rewarding to see you guys, because I don't know, I love you guys. You enable me to do what I do, and you're awesome. Anyway, that soppy shit out the way. I meant every word of it, but I'm probably boring you guys, so we'll move on to the last awesome one-trick pony jungler, Nili. Now, Nili is probably the hardest jungler to play out of all the ones I've mentioned so far. Fiddlesticks is a little bit tricky just because he has a unique playstyle, but he's still an easy mechanical champion. Nili has a unique playstyle because she always has to be going aggressive, invading, being in the enemy jungler's face, but she's also very hard to play mechanically. Nili is someone who you have to put a lot of work in to get good on, but once you've done it, the rewards are really high. When I'm playing on my main account and I know I'm against a Nili one trick, I will just ban that champion just right on the spot. So definitely worth putting the time in. Nili is someone, like I say, she bullies the enemy jungler really hard. She has to snowball early game, but she does it so effectively. That's why she's on this list. She does fall off a little bit as far as her team fights go. She is not very good at team fighting. A lot of the other champions on this list are good at that. Kazakhs is pretty bad, but outside of that, they're all really good. But the goal is on Nili that you get so far ahead that team fights no longer become a big deal. So for your runes and masteries on Nili, go for attack damage reds, armor yellows, AP blues, and AP quints. For your masteries, 12, 0, 18 with strength of the ages, or you can go 12, 18, 0 with Thunderlords if you want to. And for your item build, Runic Echoes is like the only core item on her. You can either go for the Warding Smite or you can go for the Blue Smite. But then outside of that, it's kind of up to you. There are loads of different options you can go. As long as it's got AP on it, you'll be fine. Some people like to get a bit of health as well, because obviously if you're going to be jumping in and doing stuff, then the squishier you are, the more likely it is you'll get caught out or you'll make a mistake and you'll be actually punished for it. But like I say, if it gives you AP, then you'll be fine to take it on Nili. But anyway, that's what I want to say for this video, boys and girls. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought about this video, because I feel like, you know, it's a bit tricky to do 5 champions in 10 minutes and also give you a little bit of a guide as well, but I really wanted to try to do this and just see how it was received. So if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know as well, and I'll definitely be listening to your feedback, because at the end of the day, I make videos for you guys, and you guys are a much better judge of what an audience wants, because you are the audience, than I am. So yeah. But either way, thanks a lot for watching this video, boys and girls. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.